Yo, what up, people? It's your man 151, back with CP3.
You know it. At the bar radio coming at you live.
You know how we do. So, of course, we got to start this off with the intro song, Money. It's the song all broke people hate. But you know how we get it in. Let's get it.
CP3 live on At the Bar Radio. You tuned in. Facebook, YouTube live. It's going down. We talking Redskins. We talking Will and Jada. We talking current events. No telling what else we gonna talk about at the Bar Radio. Stay tuned, baby. CP3 coming at you with 151 and a special in studio guest today.
We're probably going to talk about your baby mama.
Yeah, we gonna talk about her too. Shit, that non-existent bitch. Make sure you go check out Renegade Money Convo. Go check it out.
It's available on all digital platforms. What up? Come on. What? Is that what we talking about? I thought we talking about EBT card.
I'm still waiting on mine right now. Shit.
I need a girl, a thick chick with bad credit and a nice EBT card.
I need the opposite. I need a high credit score. I'm looking for a sponsor.
She can sponsor me because you know how we back up, but we got a thick chick.
Charge everybody $10.
That has a good amount.
Yeah. We do need to do that. We had
the
to.
ultimate side hustle.
Hey, we just had to. Hey, we had the impromptu cookout before this one, so hey, we might as well make it tradition, baby. That's what we do, man. Fire the grill up, talk some real shit, and have some fun, baby.
So what's going on? It's your man 151 at the Bar Radio. I got CP3 with me. Like,
You know.
we had an adventure. So we went down to the Tidewater area, Virginia Beach.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's fun. On some realness, like shout out to Dirt and them. Like his whole family treat you like family. Just meet me one time.
That's what it's all about, baby. 757, show love. That's my home away from home. Shout out to all the folks that showed us love down there. We definitely gonna be back. We definitely checking out the sights and scenes and, you know, just having a little fun, hitting the liquor store on a regular, you know, just trying to relax and get out of town. DMV can, you know, really work your nerves after a while, and you got to get away. Even though it's still Virginia, it's a whole different vibe down in Southern Virginia.
No, the only bad thing is people don't, like if your cookout says you start at 6 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
We should not be going to pick up food
at 6:05.
At 6:05. Especially got all the people already there.
Yeah, and we rolled up next, like, could y'all hit the store for us real? Like, what about all of them?
I'm thinking I'm going to get a plate, and now we shopping.
Basically, at the store, looking for some fish and some fish grease. And the grill ain't been fired up.
I feel like Friday. You know, so was it Friday or was it Harlem Night? Peanut butter, no jelly?
Yeah, that's Friday. That's Friday right there. That's Friday, yeah.
Kool-Aid, no sugar.
Kool-Aid, no sugar. How you gonna have? But then we had fish and no grease. I mean, you could at least have one or the other.
They was ass out until we got there. Made the run to the store, but shout out to Dirt. He always my boy, always my bro. Wish I could have seen my little bro Neek, but I guess we got to put a petition in to get him out of lockdown. It's not just the coronavirus that's locking niggas down. It's wives too.
Hey, all wives matter.
Well, we definitely gonna talk about some wives and entanglements later on in this episode, because I got a feeling 151 gonna piss some folks off with his point of view, because he always does.
Well, I never piss people off. That's just what I do. That's what I do. Just, you know, hey, straight with no chaser. You know, 151 straight with no chaser.
Yes, sir.
It is what it is. But I guess we gotta talk about a couple of things. You know, I'm a Giants fan. We have a politically correct name unless, you know, midgets start getting upset at us.
That's what I heard. They was gonna start a petition and short people in the world going to say they have a problem with the Giants name. They want to change it to the
mediums.
Yeah, to the mediums.
So, how do you feel about this name change going on with the Skins?
Oh boy, it's been very interesting seeing some of the social media posts and some of the outrage, some of the applause. I wrote an article about 6, 7 years ago when RG3 was, you know, Redskins was doing pretty well. RG3 had just did the damn thing, had won the NFC East championship. But, we'll be getting some echo here.
Yeah.
Make sure, pull my levels down a little bit. All right, should be good to go. Now, I think that's the same mistake I made when I was doing my show the other day. But I wrote an article about 6, 7 years ago breaking down this situation, this issue. My thoughts back then was, I would just say change the name of Skins, put a Native American museum in the stadium, give the proceeds to the Native Americans, because they're the ones that really need it. And a lot of folks are upset saying that the Native Americans aren't saying that they found it offensive, so why are we changing it? Well, honestly, the Native Americans have bigger issues to worry about with, you know, alcoholism, drug use, lack of running water, lack of electricity, lack of school books, lack of hospitals to take their elderly to. The Redskins name really isn't even a blip on their radar, so I don't really wonder why folks would even think that they would even have anything to say about it with all the other issues that they have besides losing the country to, you know, never mind. We'll talk about that later on.
You gotta think about it like this. This is a country that basically just decided, oh, we didn't realize that Confederate statues were offensive to black people in 2020. Oh my God! If you're a black kid, you had to go to a school named Robert E. Lee.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing that's funny with some of these Redskins fans when they say that about the Native Americans, that they don't find it offensive, so it should be left alone. But then when you flip it onto the Confederate flag or the Confederate statues, when we say that some people find it offensive, it should come down. Their whole stance flips 180 degrees into a bunch of hypocrisy. So I'm like, how you going to say on one hand it should be left alone because they don't find it offensive, but when people do find it offensive, oh, that's our heritage. It's crazy.
I mean, the Dukes of Hazzard is your heritage too, but that's why it's not on TV right now.
Hey man, I was a Dukes of Hazzard fan. Man. I used to love Dukes of Hazzard.
But you know, But as I got older and I realized the car was called the General Lee, I was like, you might as well just call us niggas.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until after the fact, but it was still one of my favorite shows. I still watch the movie when it come on.
Knight Rider better.
And I was a Knight Rider dude too, so yeah, I never even thought about that. But my stance is, I mean, in this time and day of what's going on, as you mentioned with the Confederate statues and the Confederate flag, if folks are getting, if some folks are offended by it, then if we're in this new politically correct world and we're supposed to be a kinder, gender nation and all of that, if it comes down, it comes down. It's a zero-sum proposition. You can't just say, oh, we're going to take this down because it's offensive to a certain group, but because I like this, oh no, we're going to leave this alone. I mean, it's time for a change. I've seen some of the names, and I don't have a problem with any of them.
I mean, can we call them the Washington Crackers?
I mean, that might cause a whole nother issue, but I mean, they can put it on a poll and see. I mean, I've seen Warriors, I've seen Red Tails, Red Wolves.
I like Red Tails because, you know, that's one of my favorite movies. Look, you don't even realize that George Lucas directed that. He's married to a black woman. Shout out Star Wars. But
no doubt.
it was actually a good movie. And it's about the black pilots, you know, during the war.
Yeah, I think I watched it a couple
Red
times.
Tails would be hot though, I think, because it's something that a lot of people don't know, the secret history of black soldiers. Because like, really, we know we were slaves, then glory happened. So many movies we got.
Pretty much. See, I can't even watch like 12 Years a Slave. I can't watch stuff like that for some reason now. Like, you know, we watch Roots, you know, coming up in our day, and that was a little rough.
Because I used to watch Roots and go to school and I want to like punish my
Yeah,
wife,
you walk around with your fist balled up. But
like, hey, like no.
So I really haven't watched any of those new slave movies, you know, talking about the history of, you know, the country or whatever. But I mean, it's a time and a place for everything. It's time for a change. Like I said, I've never had a problem with the name Redskins, but if some folks find it offensive, then, you know, it's time for a change. And like I say, the Red Tails, I like it, but I don't think they're going to make that because of the historic significance of it being, you know, about the black pilots. Well, the way they've been playing, I mean, yeah, you can't really, you know, any name really right now isn't a bad choice with the way they've been playing. But, you know, on the field, as I spoke about the other day, I feel like this team is going to be good to go. We got a good head coach that actually knows what he's doing better than the previous coach that had no NFL experience. A lot of fans I've seen are upset with Coach Rivera because of his stance on the name change and saying that he's trying to make this Carolina North and all this and that. But what he did in Carolina was basically what we want him to do here. He took a 4-12 team with a young quarterback to the Super Bowl. They didn't win, but they at least got there. And you got some folks complaining already, and he hasn't coached one down or done anything on the field, but you can see the culture change in the locker room from just his presence, from some of the things the players are saying. If you check out Dwayne Haskins and Chase Young's Instagram, they out there putting in work, you know what I'm saying, and pandemic and all that, throwing Haskins out there throwing routes to Golden Gandy and some of the other players, Chase Young out there doing athletic work, foot drills, hand drills, doing everything trying to get themselves in shape for hopefully if the football season does go off without a hitch, which I'm hoping, because we've been missing some sports, man. Sports on the Hill podcast, boy, we definitely been missing it. But make sure you tune in the 27th, because that's.
I'm trying to find a female to do some hand drills with.
I've been trying to for the last 2 months. My damn self, this damn coronavirus and fucked everything up for the kid. But yeah, hand drills are very important. But it's definitely going to be something for this team to build off of. Ron Rivera's been in the league. He's played in the league, Super Bowl champion as a player and as a coach. I broke it down when I did the Ron Rivera breakdown of what team he got the ring with. I forgot.
Okay.
But I think the team's going to be fine after we get through this revolt by the fans about the name changing, because some fans saying they're going to leave the team, some fans saying they're going to stay.
Would you really leave the team because they wanted to change their name to make it politically correct?
I wouldn't, but apparently there are some fans that feel that way, that, you know, if the name changes, the country is soft, the league is soft, and I'm going to go be a fan for somebody else. I mean, that's your right.
Yeah, that's your right.
So, I mean,
you ain't really have that right.
It is what it is, baby.
Shout out to my homegirl, Yo Girl Tasha. She has her podcast, and also she sells a lot of good health products and like detox teas and stuff. which I probably need because we've been, at the bar we drink a lot.
Yes,
But
sir.
shout out to her.
Yeah, that's why I'm sitting here sweating like I am. It ain't just because it's hot. It's because
Sweating like
we've
a
been
slave
drinking.
over here.
Well, we've been
Uh,
drinking.
But so definitely, I feel like this. If you're a real fan, then you're gonna stick by your team. But there is, there's it's cool to be blind ignorant. So when people like, it's offensive, that it pushes people's buttons, but because you willingly blinded to it because it doesn't affect you, people tend to do that.
That's the definition of privilege, man. Unfortunately, in this country now, you have a lot more followers. Folks are afraid to think outside the box. They quick to jump on whatever clickbait or whatever fake article they see that will back up their pseudo stance because they've heard somebody else say and they just regurgitating it. And once you get down to the core, that's what I've been doing basically the last week. I've been checking out people's posts that's been really, jumping out there. And I've just been pointing out the hypocrisy of your argument because most of the folks that are upset about the name change are the same folks that are upset about the Confederate statues coming down, which is ironic.
True indeed. Like it still boggles my mind that in 2020 we just still find I grew up I'm from New York, but I grew up in Old Town in Alexandria, and growing up it was this big ass statue in the middle of Washington Street of a Confederate soldier, and luckily one night some drunk driver hit it and knocked it down.
Premeditated.
But then, it was down for a couple of years, and then they wound up bringing it back. Now they finally just removed it. The thing about it is, if you growing up, it's not just even just the statues. Like, you growing up, we got a school, I ain't going to the school though, but we got the school, Robert E. Lee. Like, you literally, as a black person going to a school named after a Confederate general, that ain't cool. But it's privileged. Because we talk about the heritage and stuff like that. And it's funny because, shout out to people that celebrate Juneteenth rather than July 4th. But it's funny when people, and this is my personal opinion, is stuff like Washington's birthday shouldn't be a holiday because, truthfully, he was a slave owner. Columbus was a rapist. So, but it's privilege, so we celebrate these things. And as a kid, we tell they tell you these stories of, how in 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and they don't tell you the truth of how he was a rapist and a murderer. They don't tell you, they tell you how honest George Washington was, and he had wooden teeth, but the teeth was really made from the teeth of slaves. See, these people hold their privilege over your history. We don't talk about Garrett Morgan, who made the traffic light. It's something that we use every day. I learned about that through a hip hop song. Thank you, Boogie Down Productions and KRS-One. You must learn.
Yeah, it's the hypocrisy, bro. It's the hypocrisy of this country. They've been whitewashing history for a long time, and I don't know if folks recall. About maybe 5 or 6 years ago down in Texas, they were trying to rewrite some of the history books and put the slavery times as the transatlantic trade agreement, or just a transatlantic trade. There was no trade.
Oh no, they switched it. They switched it even harder. They said it was something along the lines of we migrated here.
Yeah, so
going to school, I remember they used to brag about how Manhattan was sold for a song. What type of Mickey Flicky bullshit is that? Like, you just conned a man for a land for a song that he can't even sing?
But that's cool though, because the white man did it. But now when you have the immigrants taking over the country by population, not by force or by guns, they have a problem with it. But when you go talk about the history of how they've raped and pillaged and destroyed civilizations so they can gain their wealth, oh, that's different. That's history. But when you have the Spanish population taking over America, now you have white folks like, oh, that's wrong. That's illegal. You shouldn't do that. But when you all did it at the beginning of this country, it was cool. So, the hypocrisy is what this country is based off of. And when you shine a light in folks' face, they either going to see it or they don't. Most don't want to see it because once you start attacking the stuff that their daddy and their granddaddy told them, they get all sentimental and get all defensive, and then they don't know how to act. And then they want to throw insults and end up in Facebook jail, but that's another whole story right there.
Yeah, okay, you say back in Facebook.
I'm just saying, I mean...
You can't call people some of the terms that you use. We will not be using those terms today, but, you know, if you send me a text after this show, I'll tell you everything you said.
Yeah, it wasn't my fault. I was set up. Zuckerberg, man, me and him got beef. I'm no bull. I catch him in the street, it's on.
The only person I know to get out of Facebook jail on one day and be right.
Hey, I was out for a day and a half. I was out for 36 hours, damn it.
Like,
then I was back in.
Don't get them or you banned for like an hour. They banned this dude for like 3 months one time.
Yeah, put me on lockdown for 3 months from going to the end of last year into the beginning of this year. Luckily, sports stopped, so it didn't stop Sports in the Hill podcast. But yeah.
But you know, Carol B, you like going in the groups and arguing with
I mean, if you got ignorance and you just spouting BS and want to call names, I'm the king of assholes for a reason, because I will not lose, like my man Jay said.
Last year I was in Texas and I called Carol.
Oh yeah.
I said, Carol, why are you threatening this dude on? Why are you violating him and then threatening him at the same time?
I mean,
like, pick one battle. Come on, son.
These keyboard gangsters, man, I love playing with them. I even give them my location to tell them. You know, I had one dude a couple of weeks ago wanted to jump out there. I was like, I'm at the Lowe's in Clinton right now. Pull up. What's up?
Oh, man.
Then next thing I know, they copping, please. I ain't got. Well, don't jump out there if you ain't ready to back it up, dog. All I need is your IP address. I got a PI on retainer. You get that knock on the door one day, sooner or later, you keep fucking around, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, so we got some things that before we even get to the meat and potatoes.
We got some stuff to talk about.
So, are we really ready for phase 3? Because the truth of the matter is, and that's crazy. The truth of the matter is that I just looked on a report this morning, and the death rate of the virus in like Texas, Florida, and one more state has increased. And you know, even when we went down to Virginia Beach, you know, we was walking with masks.
No bullshit.
But there were some people that was like literally on the beach, you know, and they was in the Future song. They was masked off. And I work in healthcare. So I've seen this virus at its worst, where at one point in a small hospital I work at, we had 40 something rooms that had to be cleaned with corona patients. And then it went down to the lowest was 5, and now we spiked back up to maybe about 15, almost 18. So as it's increasing, like I just want people to be aware. You know, a lot of people are assuming that we're good. Most of y'all don't have a calendar or common sense, because the virus, you know, really came October. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I remember it was in China. I was like, oh yeah. It ain't coming over here. And then, you know, we got on the plane and was like, nah, we here.
Pretty much.
Surprise! So, you know, I really think I really fear for kids having to go back to school right now in this epidemic thing, epidemic, whatever. Because little kids, I love y'all, but y'all are some nasty little boogers. Like, y'all carry more germs than a little bit.
Yeah.
And
don't care.
You know, at least as an adult, I know to sneeze in my elbow. Little kid be like, hey, shoot,
right in your
your
mouth.
face.
Right in your mouth.
Right in your mouth. Gosh. And then look at you and laugh like,
hey, I'm a kid. What you expect?
Yeah. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna beat me? Mm-hmm. Or you gonna buy me a toy? What is it?
Yeah.
Maybe both.
Buy me a toy.
Kids' codes are the worst, bro. I remember my niece Logan did that to me when she was about 4 or 5. She had just got over the stomach flu, and next thing I know, she sneezed right in my face. That was the worst situation. I was throwing up and had diarrhea at the same time, dog. I had the trash can in front of me early while I was on the toilet with diarrhea, bro.
You ever had a sick kid when you trying to sit down and wants not just not just play with you, but lay on you and fall asleep.
Yeah.
Well, that.
That's why I live alone.
No, bull. But the phase three thing, I mean,
I can only babysit when you're 13.
well, you know how to disinfect yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've said this before over and over again. These scientists, these doctors that went to school 8 to 10 extra years to become experts, but you get a social media account and watch some stuff pop up on Facebook, and you think you know more than them. I honestly, I wear my mask. I disinfect every day. I'm out in the public, doing my job. It's survival of the fittest for a reason. If you don't want to mask up and you think everything good, fine. But in a couple of weeks, if you in that hospital bed and wondering, what's going to happen, now you know. I mean, it's precaution is the key, man. I would rather have a mask on and nothing happen than walk around with no mask on and infect my family or I get sick because my nieces and nephews have asthma.
Yep.
So,
I saw the greatest post the other day when people were complaining about having to wear a mask, like to go to Walmart and stuff like that. I would just be literally just, if I could, I would just chop all y'all and break your nose. It was like, well, Dad, you think this? You can't wear a mask to go into like a Walmart, but the doctor who did my surgery wore it for 16 hours, and I survived, and so did he. So like I work at a hospital, so I have if I gotta go in the hallway, I have to wear a mask. The only time I don't really have a mask on is when I'm sitting in my office by myself. And that's the only time I get a good conversation too is when I'm sitting in the office by myself. But
those normally are the best ones when you're talking to
yeah.
yourself, man.
I feel like she loves me. She loves me not. I'm a stalker.
She's entangled.
Yeah. She loves me. She's entangled. I might call you back, sir. But so when we talk about these things, we I just want people to be prepared. And people have been come up with all types of stuff. I got asthma, so do I. Like you can't talk about I got asthma and you still smoking a cigarette. I mean,
that sounds about right.
But that's what people do though. They be like, I got asthma.
Smoking on a motherfucking cancer stick.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
I mean, but people had a sense of entitlement.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd rather be preventive maintenance than anything else. That's the type of person I am. If I can prevent a situation from happening, I'd rather take that extra precaution to avoid a whole situation that could have been avoided if you'd have just took heed. And hopefully, folks will. Social distancing is something new. The mask situation, I don't know if it's going to be something we're going to have to stay with for the rest of our lives or in the near future. But life is about adapting to change and what's going on, and that's the only way you're going to survive is adapting. You can get dug in and stuck in tradition or the way things used to be or that bullshit heritage word, but it's history for a reason because it's dead and gone, and you will be too if you don't take heed to what's going on.
True indeed. So, because my all transparency, my job just called me. I'm gonna play an indie mix. So we're gonna play something from the indie mix, and once it comes back, we'll be back, and we gotta talk about Will and Jada. Jada and Will.
We'll be back in a second. I might stream back live.
Pretzels.
CP3 at the bar radio. We'll be back.
Baby mama. We'll be right back.
I'm gonna just go ahead and switch it up and leave a blank screen. We might be back. Who knows? Stay tuned.
I've been on the grind. I just want to shine. That too. Yep. Come on. I'm like the open hype man. Flavor Flav, I'm coming for you. Shout out to Modelo's.
Yes, sir. They hitting the spot today, baby. CP3 live at the bar radio coming to you. 151 talking about any and everything sports related, current events, entertainment. You know what it is.
All right, we're back. That was a quick little. You didn't get to the mixed part. You just heard "Talk About Me" by Renegade. Being that I own the show, I can.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, I kind of know the guy that is the engineer, the producer.
We know some people.
I know some people. Now it's do I need another Modelo? I'm about to piss some of y'all ladies off. If you want to talk about it, the numbers on the screen.
All right, go ahead and grab you another one, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead and go on your star now. Go ahead.
Let me turn my mic. Is this thing on? Yes, it is. So, ladies. As much as we have double standards, like how the Redskins, about the name of the Redskins.
There you go, my brother.
As much as I love Jada Pinkett, she was a thought. Y'all can say entanglement. Y'all can say entrapment. Y'all can call it what you want. But the behavior was thoughtish because she took advantage of clearly of a man that came to her house for healing, and they had that Marvin Gaye sexual.
They had that sexual healing, yeah.
And this is,
Oh man.
If Will would have done this, he'd be every name in the book. And
Yeah.
he knew did.
He took advantage of a helpless woman.
I actually saw somebody blame Will for this. It was a female.
Of course.
They was like, well, Will did this. Well, Will's side chick ain't coming out and on the Breakfast Club saying, hey, I'm the side chick. And by the way, side dudes are winning. Side dudes are clearly winning. This is why relationships suck. Because side dudes are clearly winning.
I'm about to put my application out there. I'm looking to be a side dude. Fuck it, man. I mean, I don't know the whole situation. Like I say, we talked earlier about it. I don't know all the ins and outs. I mean, the fact that it's public knowledge that she jumped out there. I mean, I thought
everybody thought she was gonna say, "Nah, this nigga's tripping," and she was like, "Yeah."
Oh man,
he did.
I mean, it's this is a complicated issue right here. This goes deeper than just side chicks and side dudes. The fact that, for one, we've all heard that they had an open marriage, and that Will would get down sometimes, and Jada might be getting down sometimes.
But here's the thing though with that, it's all speculation.
True.
So when I like to do with the facts. The fact that we know August, whatever name is
pretty much.
That's a fact. People can say Oprah and Gail are carpet munchers, but if you ain't got no pictures, that's just what you think.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? So as far as them being in an open relationship, a lot of y'all are in an open relationship with y'all baby daddies right now. Because after he leaves your house, he goes up to your neighbor upstairs and he opens up her legs too.
Yeah,
and he didn't even wash.
Most of the time they know about it, but
he didn't even wash his balls before he did it.
I at least had that much decency that I would at least wash my balls in the sink before I would go upstairs. That's just. Hey, there's been a few times I didn't, but I have more than I haven't. All right, so I do have that much consideration.
You done the dirty deed without washing.
Yeah, I definitely have.
Okay,
yeah, I'm not saying.
I've heard the CP. We're gonna make a CP3 web series. Some of the stuff he tells me off the air is we have to protect the guilty.
Yeah, we might have to do a web series because some of the stuff that's went down in my life, y'all wouldn't believe it, even though it's real. Some folks will know, and I hope they don't jump out there like August did. But yeah.
So now, as a man,
Hmm.
do you think he did the right thing by disclosing that?
Oh, I mean, I mean, that to me makes no sense why you would do that. I mean, if you got a chance to knock off Jada Pinkett, cool. But everybody gonna hear a young dude, like you say, he got mental issues. So who knows what's in his mind?
But
Me personally, nah, cause I've done that married chick thing one time. I'm not doing it
that's not
again.
just any very shit. That's
True.
big,
Yeah, that's
big.
yeah. I mean,
Like, you know, that's
it's.
that. That's that. It's a, I bet you when he hit it, he was humming "It's a Different World." He was like, "Boy, you can't
Get off him, Kane. Get off of him. Yeah, I mean Jada. I mean it's
Did they make up when they watched Jason Lyric?
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
See, why do they have a flashback of that scene and they was at the lake and they showed that horrible angle of Alan Payne on top of her with the butt fro, bro? Why did you have to bring that up? I thought I had put that image out of my head, bro.
Well, no, you didn't.
But,
Straight with no chaser radio.
That motherfucker in the back.
no bullshit. But it's this is an indictment on relationships in the current age with social media and the instant gratification generation that we're in right now. That I saw somebody put a post up that Will is a handsome, rich, blockbuster movie star, rap artist, boom, 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 and Jada went and got her side nigga. So us regular niggas don't stand a chance. That's pretty much where we are right
I
now.
mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, well, like this. You gotta blame it on every dude that cheated on somebody that looked like Holly Berry.
Yeah.
Dumb motherfucker.
Cause when they do that,
Mhm.
and a girl, they like, damn, Holly Berry got cheated on. Oh, this nigga ain't shit no way. You
Exactly.
a good dude though.
Trust me, I've been there, bro.
Justice be coming for you.
Yeah, man. It goes.
Eric Benet be coming for you. Y'all done messed it up for us regular dudes.
Yeah, that's regular dudes
I mean,
don't stand a chance, man.
So like, but at the time she did say they was dumb, but they were still legally married. But there's a lot of people. You know what you're gonna take. You know what's acceptable in a relationship.
No doubt.
And you know what you can and can't come back. What you can and you can't come back from. Like some people, not me. Be honest, not me. Can come back from something like that. I had a girl who was madly in love with, and I thought she cheated on me with her baby father, and she said no, she didn't. But I was like, we broke up and then y'all moved in together. Something happened. And be honest.
Yeah.
But she would never cop to it. So she was like, can we get back together? I was like, just tell me the truth. And she was like, no, we never. And I was like, I still think you're lying.
I mean, when that's a sticky situation right there.
But is this something I couldn't get over?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's something that their bond was stronger than his stroke game. Or his love songs. Here comes
I mean,
Red Black.
I've been in that situation where I had a girlfriend and a best friend that were hanging together. There was rumors that something happened. We weren't, well, no, it was an ex-girlfriend, but we were still cool. And me and my best friend, we were living together. But I go around the hood, they're like, yo, your man been hanging around with such and such, lately. So, I felt a certain way. And we weren't officially broken up. We were taking a break, kind of like what Will and Jada was talking about. And when that came down, I had to make a choice on what I was going to do. So I sat down both of them, and I was like, look, I'm never going to know what's going to happen, because I know I'm never going to know, and I'm never going to be satisfied. So I basically severed ties with the female. We were still friends, but we were in a relationship. Me and my folks, my best friend. It hurt our relationship for a little bit, but at the end of the day, it was what it was. I would never know the truth. I don't think that he did, but it's a possibility, because a nigga is a nigga. You giving up free pussy, I don't know too many dudes is gonna turn it down.
Have you ever? We already know this answer. Have you ever been a side dude?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. And I was younger. I was in my mid-20s. She was in her early 30s, and she had a husband that wasn't appreciating the woman that she was. And the sad fact of it was, she gave me her number when her husband was actually right there. But
You still call.
yeah, she was sexy as hell, bro. I'm sorry. But like I said, I did it once. I haven't gone back and done it again. She wasn't Jada Pinkett, but yeah, she was bad. Though. She reminded me of Teresa Randall from Girl 6, for real, for real. That's kind of why. Yeah, she had the sexy voice and everything. When she would call me, if she would sound just like Teresa Randall on Girl 6, bro. She'd call me, made my heart jump, my dick hard at the same damn time, bro. I didn't know if I was coming or going.
Obviously, she did.
Yeah. No more details on that one. That's for another Chronicle day.
So you was a side dude.
Yes, I was. Even took her to my Christmas party.
Damn.
And she spent the night.
Did you have feelings for her, or were you just happy in your place being a side dude?
I was just happy being a side dude. She was, married to the dude. They had kids, had a family. I wasn't trying to break up a happy home. It was just.
Well, you can't be too happy if she getting piped from
Well,
you.
yeah, true. I mean,
she's riding the CP3 train.
I mean, she wasn't getting that from her husband, and I guess everything else was cool except for the sex game. Because once a week, I picked that ass up.
Oh, you was piping her once a week. You had her on rotation.
Yeah, I had her on rotation.
Was it Tuesday or Thursday?
Tuesday. She had a Tuesday 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock block. I'm just saying, I was a different person then. I told you, I'm trying to be a better man. Yeah, of course. I had a
Monday?
I had a Monday, I had a Tuesday, I had a Wednesday, I had a third. I was, back in the day, like I said, I wasn't shit. I had no cut cards about it. I'm a new man.
Some girls is like, yo, I knew him in this. Y'all only swing on. Oh,
and they don't know where I'm at, so it's all good. I might get some phone calls. My phone number been the same for so long, but I mean, we all evolve, we all change, we all go through periods in our life when we not use the best moral judgment, and our compass might be off depending on what we're going through at that time. But
so would you consider Jada Pinkett Smith a cougar or a thot?
Ooh. See, with the whole mental health issues that he was supposed to be coming over there to get help.
This is not the school dance.
She a thought, nigga.
Don't dance around the issue.
She a thought, nigga. She a thought. She took advantage of, like you said, if it was flip on the other side, if a female was having mental issues and Will knocked it off, he'd have been a predator. He'd have been, taking advantage of a young, helpless girl. So if it's good for the male to be looked at in that way when you're dealing with a younger person that's mentally, challenged or having mental difficulties, then it has to go to both ways for Jada also.
Would you still hit it?
You goddamn right I would. What is you crazy? I done had a thing for Jada since, yeah.
Even though she's a thot?
Hey, man, I done already laid down with some thoughts before. This one is a millionaire thought. I'll take that one, bro. I'm sorry. I'll take that one, bro. I done laid down with some broke thoughts, nigga. I will lay down with a millionaire thought. See if I can get me a Cartier ring out the deal or some shit.
Like, the fuck you talking about?
No bullshit.
Like, and I'm not pawning that.
Hell no.
What you talking about?
This podcast is officially going down.
I told you we've been drinking. It's been a crazy day.
Oh, it's going down.
I got a confession. I would too.
Hey, come on, bro. I mean, that's Jada Pinkett. She's still sexy as hell. Just look at the chicks that we've been with that probably have done the same thing, that we took them back or hit it again even though we knew they was giving up to somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, Jada. Yeah. I wouldn't say it on the Breakfast Club, though.
Nope.
That's crazy. I can't believe that.
I ain't that open.
And some things you just gotta keep to yourself. Man.
Yeah, I mean, but it is what it is. He spoke his truth though, because honestly, he said he got blackballed. He didn't get blue balls, but he said he got blackballed in the industry because how many people love Will, and they saw him with pictures and stuff with Jada.
Oh, he's blackballed now.
Yeah.
If he had shut his mouth, then he wouldn't have got blackballed.
No, he got blackballed before he opened his mouth.
But how? If nobody knew about it except for him and her?
I mean, they had pictures, nigga.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did see some stuff.
They had burned up pictures. Arms around the waist,
Yeah, certain stuff. Yeah, you can't explain yourself.
I guess they all really men in black.
It's I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like I say, if I was him, what was he? What, like 25, 26, something like that?
I did it too.
Yeah, I mean, he a young dude, so you know that's what we
still
used to do.
embarrassing behavior, though.
But that's what we used to do back in the day. We used to say we ain't gonna say that when we smash a chick that we know we wasn't supposed to. What the first thing we do? Call our boy and tell our boy, you know I got that ass right. So yeah, I mean,
The only thing I ain't never do is like I ain't never been one of those niggas. I'd be like, yo, smell my finger.
oh no, I've been able to somebody like, what's that on your finger? Like my bad, I forgot to wash my hands, dog.
Nah, if a dude put his finger in my nose, oh, I smell my finger. I got 3 letters for you. The first one's a D. The other one's a D. And the last one's a T.
Yeah, I ain't never been a fan of that one either. Like I don't want to smell that, bro.
I will DDT
And
you
most
on.
times it smell like fish when they tell you it smell like fish.
Exactly.
Cause it's been like a couple of hours and they ain't washed their hands and shit and
First
doing
of all,
everything
use
else.
hand sanitizer.
No bullshit.
It's quarantine.
Yeah.
Your hand smells like corn dogs. I think she had a yeast infection.
Yeah, bro. It's a crazy day and time. Relationships, especially being a single dude.
It is what it is. I think with if you found the right one, you gotta go through the trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
And then you have to show your testament of what your relationship can and can't stand and what it can't stand.
But see, that's the catch-22 bullshit. When you get a dude that's decent and he got to jump through all of these hoops because of what Leroy did before you, and something you said reminds her of something that he said or he did, and you got to jump through all these fucking hoops, man. Is it?
I mean, it's crazy because when I treated women like shit, I had more women around me. When I started treating women good, they started disappearing.
Bruh, you ain't never said nothing more true, bruh.
That was like the wrong magic trick.
I wasn't shit, and I had folks.
When I didn't take them to good restaurants and into the movies and stuff, and took them to McDonald's in the bedroom, they stayed coming.
Literally.
Yeah.
Been there, bro. Been there.
So it's crazy because you can be a good dude and I mean, even when you're a good dude, they still it's just unappreciated.
Yeah, because I done grown a conscience now, being an uncle and taking care of my family.
Shit, CP3 has grown a conscience.
I mean, it's not a big one.
Newsflash.
It's a. I mean, I have some things where I'll say no, I'm not going to
So
do
you
that.
don't take on women in the shower no more?
I haven't had the chance to. Ain't nobody coming over. Shit, if they come over, we'll see what happens. But I mean, things change.
Bring some hand sanitizer and soap, ladies.
I got plenty of bleach. I'll bleach you down after it's over. We get rid of all the CSI residue and all of that good stuff.
Oh no, it's gonna be
I got the gloves. We got the mask. We got disinfectant. Hey man,
oh
it's been a while. Yeah, I'm whoever do come over gonna get that warning. You might not be the same after this experience because it's been a while.
Oh Lord. So honestly, and we can talk about this real quick before we bring our guests up. How is it like to even think about? Oh shoot! No, I'm scratch that question. Dr. Dre is getting a divorce.
Oh yeah.
And Dr. Dre is worth like $900 million.
Yeah.
And there's no prenup. And his wife wants $400 million plus spousal support, and she's a lawyer.
I mean,
Is she entitled to that?
Under the law, yes. Reality, I mean, I'm not saying she helped him build the empire, but she was there. She had his back, when he was getting his ass kicked, when they was talking about him and doing songs about him. She had his back. Is it $400 million worth? I don't know. Under law, they say that's what it is, but I mean, I feel she deserves something for being there.
But here's the thing: since we're not a fly on that wall, we don't know what it's like to be like. Somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, we want you to endorse these headphones," and he may go, "Fucking headphones," and then he goes to his wife and she says,
"Do that shit."
And she tells you to do it, and you become more richer.
Yeah. That's why I say I think
so
she deserves something.
Is she entitled because she helped you? What if she's the one that said, "Hey, that Slim Shady's kind of crazy, but I like that little white guy. Why don't you sign him?"
Yeah. True. Never
You
know
know?
what influence was made behind closed doors.
She's also, and I remember when he tried to do a clean joint, and she told him no, go back to cursing. And then we got, because that first Chronic album sucked. The first Doctor Aftermath compilation joint.
Oh, I didn't even try.
Yeah. It's because he was trying to, I've been there, I've done that, and it sucked.
See, that one was alright. That was actually one of the tracks I did like on that.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah.
But then when he came back to Chronic 2001,
Yeah, that was a whole
and then,
different ball game.
with the still DRE and all that other stuff, and she's the one that said, hey, you know what? I get it. We're married. You're trying to be politically correct, but go back and be Dre.
Yeah.
She gave him that push. I mean, and if you were alive during that time, that album was on fire.
Yeah.
So, how much is that worth?
I mean, that's
Is
what I
it
say.
400 mil?
I say it at least 2/3, if not half. I mean, not 2/3, 1/3, if not half. And in the spousal support, I
She
really.
got a job all over the
Yeah, I can't see the spousal
Who give you
support.
400 million?
Yeah. Why do you need support?
Yeah,
And the kids grown.
The kids is grown.
Yeah.
100 million. What do you need support for?
Yeah, so I mean, I could see, 200, 300, maybe 400 mil. And, they go their separate ways. It's just crazy after 25, 26,
24 years.
24 years. I mean, I
Um,
haven't been in a relationship that long, so I couldn't even tell you what went wrong.
Would you marry without a prenup if you was a millionaire?
Hell no. Well, I mean, it depends on the situation. If it's somebody that I've known, that we've known each other for years and not just fly-by-night marriage after 1 year, if it's somebody that we've been building, that I've known for a while, what I've been building and stacking, and I know her personality or whatever, and I think that we are going to make it work, I mean, it's a 50-50 flip. I'm not going to say I wouldn't, but I mean, I'll give it some consideration.
Okay. Let's flip it though.
Mm-hmm.
What if she was a millionaire?
She wanted me to sign a prenup.
She asked you to sign the prenup.
I was kind of, sort of, almost in a situation like that where my...
Would you sign it?
If I loved her, I guess I would.
Yes. Or no, nigga.
Let me, I gotta flip a coin on this one. Me being me, I say yeah. I sign it. I just make sure if I was that same dude that wasn't shit, I'd make sure I cover my tracks for you.
Y'all been seeing these CP3 dance moves? We really got some steps.
Because he caught me off guard with that one.
Dance around that question.
Because it hit kind of home a little bit.
That nigga hit me with the icky shuffle around that question.
It hit a little home because I had a situation like that in my previous years, yeah. And I'm single and I'm still single, so I let y'all know what kind of happened.
I want half. Take that off the break.
Oh man, yeah, the CP3 Chronicles will be coming out soon.
The mental health state of Kanye West. I love Kanye. I'm a big Kanye fan. Salute the GOP, rest in peace, GOP, my
Yes,
brother.
sir. Miss you, bro.
Miss you all the time. We always, he's a big Kanye fan. But this whole week everybody was Kanye tweeted he wanted to run for president, and then according to his wife that he is at the verge of his bipolarism is taking over, and he's about to suffer a mental breakdown. And I think the media makes it worse because he just tweeted something that really he couldn't get past because like certain states had already passed the point where for him to be on the ballot for an election.
Yeah.
But they don't report that. It becomes a newsworthy event, and we're not worried when a person just randomly tweets out in the middle of an election year, in the middle of a pandemic, I want to run for president. Just randomly, out the blue.
Well, we all know with Kanye, once his mom passed, that really affected him big time. And then we've seen some of the histrionics and stuff through over the past years with when he's off his meds. And we've talked about mental health in the black community over and over again, how folks, are ashamed or unwilling to go to a therapist to seek help. I tell folks all the time, after my dad passed, I almost had a nervous breakdown. And I actually was in therapy for over a year and a half, which brought me to the person I am now, who I am, I can understand who I am, and I know why I am the way I am, and I love myself. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people out here. They don't know who they are or why they are the way they are, and I'm not saying that they hate themselves, but they don't love themselves. So they do a lot of things for the wrong reasons or for whatever emotion they're going through at the time because they're not emotionally connected to themselves. There's nothing wrong with going to seek therapy. There's nothing wrong with going to talk to somebody because I don't always have all the answers. Sometimes you have to reach out to somebody else to get a different perspective, get a different point of view. And unfortunately, being a millionaire that he is, and the way his life has changed since he's become a celebrity, best producer, rap singer, married to the Kardashians, all of that. Now his whole perspective is just so skewed and out of whack that even if he did know he was in a bad place, how would he know?
Money is wealth. Money doesn't equivalent to or equals mental health. I don't know why in the black community mental health is such a dirty word. Words. It's something that as black men we are taught that we need to hide our feelings and we gotta be tough all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And as black women, they're tough on their sons because they don't want their sons to be raped, murdered, and killed, and not be able to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just affected our community in such a negative way. And it's, we suffer basically PTSD from civil rights and slavery.
Another conversation that needs to be had that hasn't.
And it's just, the school system is not equipped. They can't even teach us our history, so they're not equipped to deal with a black child who has mental health. Because we'll label a child deaf, dumb, and blind.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
For just being a black man. And we don't do anything to help the children. We'll put them on meds. We'll put them on, what's that shit they used to get the kids to calm down?
Start with an R. I think it was Ritalin. Yeah, that's that shit.
We'll put them on Ritalin and stuff like that. Adderall.
All of that shit. They subscribe that shit quick. That's another whole thing we could talk about too. The big pharma and how they legal they're legal dope.
They're legalized drug dealers. But we won't deal. We'll put them on pills before we deal with mental health issues. And I'm not ashamed to say when we first got down here, me and my brother were bad as shit. We from New York, of course we were bad. And my mother, as a young mother, wasn't equipped to deal with us. And she took us to a psychiatrist. And we would go there like every, I don't know, whether Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. I know I was missing cartoons and I was pissed. But it helped.
Mm-hmm.
For all of us. And I'm not afraid to say, as a child, I was bad. We had mental health issues. And as a man, I understand it. So, I think it's a lot of pressure, oh my God, Colin ain't running for president. And he's not mentally healthy. But then y'all want to add the pressure. The media got to stop doing that.
I mean, that's their job.
It was a tweet.
They don't care, man.
It wasn't even. It was a political statement. Then it was, oh, he's done with Trump. He's done this, and then he's talking about not having vaccines and all crazy stuff. And you're talking about not having vaccines in the middle of a pandemic.
Like you say, the media doesn't help. I miss the good old days of real journalism, objective journalism, where everybody didn't have an opinion and spitting it out there for any and everybody to either jump behind or have a problem with. I just miss plain objective reporting. That's why we do what we do. On this show, we give more opinions than we normally do, but it is what it is. It's all in fun, but we're giving you the news the way it should be given to you. You take it or leave it. We're not trying to sway you, not trying to persuade you into thinking one way or another. We're just giving you our opinions on it, and you make your own. And until the media starts doing that again, I don't see anything improving with the state of our society.
True. So, you remember it was about 2 years ago? It was Survivor with R. Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's been that long? Damn.
It was about 2 years ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Maybe it was a year.
Yeah, time be going by.
Time goes by, but everybody was talking about it. It was so bad, got R. Kelly arrested, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did the part two that no one talked about. So the other night I couldn't sleep, and I just wanted to watch something so horrible that it would leave a lasting impression on me to be like, you know what, this shit is ridiculous. So I was on Netflix, and I was watching Jeffrey
Epstein.
No one's talking about that. Twice as horrible as surviving R. Kelly. But maybe because he's white.
Oh yeah, it's all right because he's all white, baby.
And this dude clearly was. He paid young girl 14 years old to massage him while he was naked. And then he also paid them to go recruit their friends to do the same thing, and he can have sex with them. And when you walk in this house, he had artwork, little naked women and children. Like, this dude was clearly sick. It's 4 parts. I think I made it to like 2 or 3. But it's just really, really crazy that no one's talking about how sick this monster is.
I mean, it's been whispered. A lot of folks know about Epstein, but it hasn't been publicized. I mean, you can talk about Woody Allen, Stanley Kubrick, Roman Polanski, all known
pedophiles.
All pedophiles, pretty much. But it's ironic that R. Kelly and Bill Cosby are the only two that's been locked up for it, and they take all the Cosby shows off TV, but you're still playing Woody Allen movies, still playing Stanley Kubrick movies, and still playing Polanski's movies. Folks say it's not about race. I actually had one of my good Facebook friends today when he tried to put a post out there that I had to shut down. He's like, well, you always bring up race. I'm like, because it ain't about height, motherfucker. It's about race in this country. When you have...
All people matter.
when you have documented situations of double standards of the way they treat people going back. Like, I'm not even going to go to the protesters and the way that they approached the white folks that was armed that stormed the Michigan Capitol with no incident. Police didn't get in riot gear. No one got arrested. No one got beat. But as soon as you have a peaceful protest in Minneapolis for the 2nd year in a row that an innocent black man that got murdered on camera, and it was going to be a peaceful protest like the one the year before, they come out in riot gear ready to anticipate something popping off. So you're trying to tell me armed white men aren't a perceived threat where you should at least have riot gear on, but peaceful protesters that are upset about someone getting killed on camera, you want to come out in full, army tech gear? And until this country starts talking about the racial issue and the racial divide, it's never going to go away, and you're going to have problems with looters and stuff when incidents happen, because everyone doesn't have the same mindset. Everyone doesn't get behind the microphone or behind the camera and start talking about it. Folks go out there and do stuff, and go out there, and I actually saw something where a black person was arrested for openly targeting to kill a white person when ran him over with their car or something. Wanted to kill a white cop.
Oh, damn.
And actually ran him over and getting charged for a hate crime because he wanted to kill a white person. I'm like, really? Is it really that bad of what's going on around that you decide that you're going to kill a random person just because of the way they look? Now, isn't that the same reason why you're protesting about minorities getting killed by the police officers? Because they are relating them to one bad experience or a bad experience that they had. So you're doing the same thing that you're supposed to be fighting against, but you're doing the same damn thing. And that's what I don't understand. And you got to take a step back and take the emotion out of it.
Yeah, I mean, well, people do some of the dumbest things.
It's no bullshit.
It's funny, not funny, but it's sad. Like when the whole R. Kelly situation happened, like, I I saw interviews with public announcement. Damn, I ain't seen public announcement since nigga I was in high school.
Yeah. Most
Like
folks don't
they
know who
was
they
doing
were.
interviews. Like, and don't get me wrong, I've been stopped buying. Like nigga, I stopped buying like the Chocolate Factory. I was like, I like this album, but I've seen the tape.
Yeah.
I can't support that. I got sisters. So, even though, Step in the Name of Love, people loved, I was like, he's still a pedophile. So I've been stopped supporting him. But everybody in their woodwork came out, for this. There's a lot of people like that outside of what I saw on the Netflix joint, not a lot of people were talking. They just arrested his girlfriend.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So, we'll see how long she lives before she commits murder.
Oh, that's the chick that everybody told you. I
Yeah.
was trying to figure out who she was, but they saying that she might have tapes and all type videotapes and audio tapes that might be incriminating to a lot of folks.
Well, let's see if she makes it to court then.
Yeah, I mean it's just so much, bro. You don't know what you can even wrap your head around. Like with Epstein, I mean, I don't know, bro. I ain't trying to get taken out of my sleep, so I'm gonna leave that one alone. Bro.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about, and then we're gonna play some music, and we're gonna bring up our guest is this. For all you real street dudes and real street niggas and real killers, do something constructive. Find justice for Davon. Over that 4th of July weekend. What was he, 11, 12?
Yeah, 11 years old.
Shot.
I think they arrested 2, and I think it's still 1 more that they're supposed to be looking for. I honestly, it's hard for me to follow these stories with children getting killed.
It's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's sad, and I have nieces and nephews that same age, and I know I say a lot about not retaliating and going to the authorities and not snitching, but I tell you this: if something ever happened to one of my nieces and nephews, it's going to take a lot for me not to retaliate myself, because some of the sensitive stuff that goes on is just ridiculous, and it just makes no sense. But folks want to get outraged when a white cop or a white person kills a black person, but we don't see that same outrage when we have black people killing black kids, women, and young men in our own neighborhoods, and it's supposed to be cool. That's supposed to be just, that's just the way the world is. Nah, it's not.
We have to. The thing about this is this: I separate both. So, the whole white cop killing a black man, that's a terrible situation, and the whole George Floyd thing. Now, we control the narrative on what we do in our neighborhood.
Exactly.
And we should be smarter, because when we look like, we used to look to the older dudes, whether they were street dudes or not, and they was our protectors. Young boy, you better take your ass to school.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't doing recklessness. Like, a lot of y'all dudes who's doing this recklessness, y'all just little boys with guns.
Pretty much.
Y'all aren't real dudes. Y'all aren't real niggas as you think. You ain't kings. You ain't nothing. You's a little boy with a gun. And to take a life of an innocent kid, disgraceful.
There's no reason for it.
He played football. He was hanging with his friends. 11 years. That could have been our next president of the United States. That could have been our next mayor of D.C. That could be the next quarterback that wins the Super Bowl.
Could have been your little cousin or brother.
Could have been your family member. Could have been your son. And when you devalue life like that, it's bad enough that we can't get the people who get paid to protect and serve to protect us. But on top of that, the people who should be protecting the neighborhood is shooting at each other, and they hit a little kid.
Upside down world, bro.
You're a coward.
Let's go ahead and get out of here. It's getting a little too heavy in here. Let's go ahead and play some music
Play
from
some
my
music.
upcoming guest. And I'm about to shut my feed down because I didn't hook my computer up and I'm about to lose all my juice. But appreciate y'all checking this out. CP3 live from At the Bar Radio. I'm about to sign off on mine. You can always check out At the Bar Radio on IG, on Facebook, on YouTube. It's all out there. Go check it out. Go find it. CP3 will be back.
We'll be back. And then after the show, I'm going to somebody at your mama's house.
We get an entanglement.
It's about to be my new quarantine boo. Be like, hey sweetheart, you look like my new quarantine boo.
We about to have an entanglement, baby.
We're gonna name my son Entanglement.
She'll pick up like, oh my gosh, asking me what I've been on. But you wait till I get home. When I'm since you gonna search my phone, and I know I can't write my wrongs. I think I'm about to miss her call.
Be like, I'm gonna say side dude. Side dude son name.